And maybe if you start games with other people.
No, because those people were assholes. Hey, speaking of assholes.
But they're assholes you don't know.
Yeah, speaking of assholes I do know. I'm here. Yeah, so,
You are what you eat.
nope.
No one's touching that one.
Much like the asshole. So, welcome to the Average Adventuring Party podcast, where the party may be assholes, but so are their adventures.
Not wrong.
I don't know what y'all are saying. I'm not an asshole.
Spoken like a real asshole. At least we're self-aware.
Self-aware asshole is going on the band name list.
I'd listen to it.
Yeah, so what happened last time, you guys?
Well, last time we went to a club, and we've got the sort of the death knight that we're gonna potentially keep around, either to disenchant or to make sure that we can have someone to reliably question about who's doing all this dual stuff.
I can just see it. Death Knight pops up. We beat the shit out of him. Answer us! He dies. X amount of time later, pops back up. Beat the shit out of him.
I thought you were going to say you beat the shit out of him and go, who's responsible? And he goes, Martha.
Why'd you say that name? That's a stupid name to say right now. There's this club that we went to where Cree just threw an elf out the window, and we are using that to make our plans. Galdrien suggested that we, as a party, will all go to House Tabacunan and try to make some contact there. And then, in the meantime, as we were sleeping, Saiyna heard Cree talking to someone who apparently wants her to keep Galdrien getting into trouble. And when,
Oh, hey, Kree's a bronze dragon.
yeah, Cree's a bronze dragon, not actually a werecat like she said she was, or like supposedly, but no one knows that except Saiyna.
Who has been threatened with her life. Not that she cares.
Yeah. Seems reasonable. Mm-hmm. So that's where we'll pick up. Is the morning comes. Saiyna, have you slept at all?
Yes.
Yeah. So when you
I want those 2 hit points, damn it.
yeah, that's fair.
She slept enough.
Yeah. When everybody wakes up, Cree is sitting on the edge of the window, just kind of like dangling her leg out, half in and half out. And she looks over at Galdrien and goes, message for you, I think. And then about 30 seconds later, you just hear the door, and it goes, bang, bang, bang.
Not accepting duels right now.
It's just another set of bangs at the door.
Galdrien walks down.
I can answer it.
You could just stand behind me and look intimidating.
I can do that.
You open the door. There is a Death Knight standing there.
Who sent you?
It points at you and goes, sword.
You want your sword back?
Yes.
Tell me who sent you.
It reaches into its voluminous robe and pulls out a piece of parchment.
Pleasure doing business with you. Galdrien will hand him back his sword and
Here's your sword!
Close the door in his face.
and close the door.
Yeah, it takes the sword. Before the door closes, it points it at the ground, and several zombies raise themselves, and then it just walks away.
That doesn't count as a duel, you know. You already lost. And Galdrien's takes out the piece of paper with the duels on it and looks at it.
There's no new entry.
Okay, so our duel is set. You zombies get the hell out of here.
Yeah, the zombies sort of look at you. The Death Knight looks at you.
Saiyna cracks her knuckles.
It shrugs and walks away. And the zombies follow it. The
Close.
crowd just parts around them.
Close the door.
Kree says, well, that was a quick duel.
It wasn't a duel. He already lost.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And Galdrien is going to look at this piece of parchment.
It says, you've been nominated for this duel, and to sign here if you accept.
Any signature?
There's just basically a bony thumbprint.
It's like
Do bones have thumbprints?
kind of. Oh, there's like bone.
It's a bone print.
It's a bone print. Bone print also going on the band name list.
Nothing more useful than that.
If you flip it over, there is a map that, if you kind of use some common sense, it has where you would have been and a timestamp, which would have put you basically right outside the Lunar Storm compound at the time you left.
I think Galdrien can do a check to see who all would have known where he was going and see if he comes up with any hunches, thinks of anything.
So the only people that absolutely knew where you were going are right here in this room,
Plus Kree's boss.
plus Kree's boss, and also your carpet driver.
Which of Kree's bosses?
The big chick.
Yes, VMOC. Big V.
The one I got.
Just checking.
That,
Since I heard her talking to her other boss.
Galdrien is going to look at Saiyna and say, make the others think that I'm busy for a little bit. I'm going to slip out.
I don't like you going out there alone.
Okay.
okay, bye.
He just dives out the window.
Okay.
Obviously, she's not stopping you, but
I've got a plan. I mean,
There's a
it's not
first
that I
time for
don't
everything.
trust Rhys and Jola, but I think someone must be watching us. I don't know if there's someone maybe. So I want to test a theory. How about I do a little bit of magic to make people think I'm still here, and you and I slip out for a second.
There's a broom with this loot.
They just-
Yep, totally
A mop.
Galdrien.
Yeah.
A mop.
A mop.
yeah, dyed the mop.
A very stunningly beautiful mop. Annoyingly pretty mop.
I like that plan a little bit better.
All right. Let's see if there's a room somewhere where I can just say I'm practicing.
We have an entire building.
Right.
Surely
Go away,
there's
guys. I'm playing with my loot.
You hear Kree go, probably not for long.
Right. Then I guess we should go ahead and leave.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
To Galdrien saying it's going to go, all of us or just your little plan?
Well, I guess all of us. For now.
We'll try it later.
All right, let's go. And Galdrien's going to look at the map that Saiyna has and says, so where can I get a hold of House Tobacco Rhys?
First off, as Rhys walks out of his shell,
You smell like curry.
actually, no, his solid white suit is actually tinged
Orange?
orange and deep red as he comes out in his autumn attire.
Where did you put it all? I think the curry alone should have made your stomach expand and distend.
There's some questions that are best left unanswered.
His stomach is a pocket dimension.
Are you secretly a dragon? You have to tell us if you're secretly a dragon. That wasn't in character, by the way.
I mean, if it was in character, Saiyna would be like cutting her eyes towards a certain little cat person.
Yeah, pretty much anytime Saiyna looks up at Kree, she is just staring daggers at you.
How's tobacco on? Well, like I said, my office is just a little bit down the street, so let's head there, and we'll talk with Saylas' best deal.
All right, let's
I'll
see
lead
if they
the
have
way.
anything.
So, leading the way, I fly up above the building and start flying my normal route over to my my shop.
Which may or may not be trespassable down here. Yeah?
Come on, guys!
Some of us can't fly.
Yeah, if you fly, it's probably a 20-minute flight for you.
Uh-huh.
These guys, it's going to be hours of walking.
After a few minutes of them not following, I'll go back and see. I'm sorry, but I actually, if y'all aren't gonna follow my way, I'm not sure that I can actually find my way
We can't fly, you go to a fighter bulk.
through the plebeian masses.
Give us your address and we will make our way there.
Yeah.
I already know his address from
Okay.
the dossier, so we should be fine.
Okay, then you go talk to your assistant. He will follow or meet you somewhere.
Excellent. Stay out of trouble. Good luck.
Trouble has a way of finding me, so
How much do you want to bet that he will find some trouble between now and us meeting up again?
it's almost certain.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, Rhys, as you take off, you see a couple streets over what looks to be another one of those impromptu parades setting up.
Huh?
Heading more or less towards the way you took off from. Do you head straight to your office?
That's the plan, yeah.
Yeah. So you, while you're making that trip, what do the three of you do?
I think we're going to stick to the alleys for now and try to make our way through back roads and stuff without drawing too much attention.
Okay. At a certain point, you guys are making your way downtown, and
Technically, yeah.
and you look up and Kree is gone. And when you round the next corner, she's just sitting there, and she's got an armload of what looks like spun sugar and various carnival treats. Says, I thought you guys would be hungry. Just chewing on snacks.
No, thank you. I'm actually still quite sated from last night.
Does any of that have any caloric content that is not sugar?
Hold on. And she comes up with
Thick.
a funnel cake that is covered in what looks to be bacon. I think this counts.
I mean, you add some maple syrup on there, and that's fantastic.
Let's keep moving. If anyone wants some, go ahead and get it. But I'm good.
Yeah, over the course of several blocks, if you don't take any food, Kree will eat all of it. She's got about 4 people's worth of food. And she just slowly, just at one point, is just like double fisting handfuls of cotton candy.
Saiyna will keep eyeing her, but it's more like, now I understand where you're putting all that.
So, do we pass any maybe places I have done business or helped people? Anything that catches my eye that I might lean over and tell Galdrien, see, this is where I brought a dwarf and he works there now. Or I'm gonna be doing that as we go along.
So dwarves tend to stand out because they in the first years of their life, as they're cut from stone, they tend to still resemble stone and gemstones and things like that. And so when you see, a man made of rock who has a beard made of gemstones, he tends to stand out a bit. So at any point you can point at one and go, I know that guy, I helped him, and, have some visual evidence to back it up.
Yeah. I'm going to be talking to Galdrien and trying to point stuff out like that.
Anything that seems useful from what she's pointing out, or she just kind of like jerking herself out, like, look at all these people I helped.
I mean, are you pointing out anything useful?
I don't know anything useful.
Maybe I do.
I mean, any dwarves with unique skills?
He's great at carving.
Is there one that has an axe?
I was going to say, is there any that might have been one to specifically talk about dragons?
I mean,
they all probably did, but I mean, like, specifically knew, like, the different types of dragons, or...
I mean,
I had heard about some dragons coming here, so he was still a little timid about coming here, something like that.
Not particularly.
No.
Mostly, if a dwarf is created, it's created for a purpose, and so, like, you wouldn't, make a stone cutter and then pass that stone cutter around. You would make what you need, and then.
Did any of them enchant items?
Probably yes, but not here.
Onward.
Yeah, then no, I guess nothing useful.
Okay. So, Rhys, you land outside your office.
Yes. I dust myself off around and walk in to my so cheerful assistant. Saylon's best deal.
They're such a good assistant. Why don't you give him a raise? Give Sayloth's best deal the best deal.
I'm not here for this.
I know. This is all character.
You walk in, and the office is empty, but about 30 seconds after you enter, Sayloth's best deal enters the door behind you.
You sluggard! You're supposed to man the office while I'm away.
I was manning the office while you were away.
You weren't here. I don't care if the office is open or not. You're supposed to be here. That's the deal.
Yes, and I was here in spirit.
Fucking assistants. So
did you have fun gallivanting around the city? And she points at several newspapers that have pictures of Rhys in compromising situations, including one from last night where you are diving headfirst into a snail.
yes, obviously. Were you?
This gotta be like, local pixie dives into oversized snail. What kind of fucking slow news day is it?
No, it's probably more along the line of his service, or his getting service at his lawyer's office is as sluggish as he is. Mostly just taking digs at your business.
Yeah.
And she says, "Yes, I've had a terribly exciting time. Can't you tell?"
Yes.
And
it's
gives
all over
you
your
gives you a
face.
big fangly smile.
Yes. Well, our project with the spawn is moving along nicely. He wants to talk with House Tobacculon. Tobacculon. Yeah, the tabbies. I really don't fucking care. They're halflings.
I think you have a standing invite from them.
Yes, but I need you to arrange meeting with the matriarch because reasons.
I suppose. And they go over to a filing cabinet. Fucking pronouns, I swear.
I think we've kind of established that Saloth's best deal is like they, she, he.
Yeah, they are everything at once. They pull open a cabinet, sign something, they give a whistle, and this tiny, I'll say like 6-inch wide, just burning rift appears right above her, and a terrible demonic snake monster like pokes its head through that she hands this letter to, and it disappears. And she sits there. They sit there, twirling her fingers.
I'm just imagining that like every time the pronoun is different, it's actually because the form is different.
Yes, every time you look away from them, something about them is different.
So.
And after about a minute, that snake monster pokes its head back through reality and spits a letter out at her feet. And she picks it up. Here you go, or whatever.
About time.
You have a dinner date.
Excellent. Well, I shall return. And the shop.
Yes.
Well, woman, the shop.
I understand idioms.
Thank you.
As you leave, she leaves too.
I mean, I'm not getting any business right now. I'm getting paid through the teeth. Alright, I'll look at my wrist, lie up, look around, and patiently zoom back and forth in front of my office while I'm waiting for them to show up.
Yep.
What time does the dinner date say?
You should be there around dusk.
Fantastic.
As you guys are walking towards Rhys's office, you hear this fairly frenetic drum beat, just
Galdrien starts bobbing his head just by himself.
Coming closer and closer to you. Cree is kind of like bobbing along with Galdrien, and at one point, Jola will say you have your shield slung over your arm or your back or something, and she just walks up and is like, take it, and just, banging on your shield with the beat.
Stop that. Stop. This is not drums.
Anything is drums if you try hard enough.
Then use your stomach. Use your head. Use Galdrien's head.
No.
I can't reach that high.
Stop banging on my shield.
And I have a feeling that Saiyna wouldn't be receptive to it.
Saiyna's gonna just gently pluck her off your shield.
Thank
put her
you.
down.
This group is entirely not fun.
Oh,
Good.
Very fun.
She said no.
Since when does that mean anything?
I need to teach you a lesson about consent sometime, I think.
I mean, yeah, but not for that. I mean, look at it. That is a perfectly good drumming shield.
And it's also Jola's. If you want your own shield, I'll get you your own shield.
No, I don't have the body for it. It's too much to just carry around.
So since we're in an alley, is there any trash cans?
Sure.
I'm going to grab one of the trash can lids and hand it to her.
Ew.
You wanted a drum.
Well, why don't you hold on to that one and give me the shield?
No.
You're being unreasonable, Jola.
Drum.
And she just tick on your shield. That's better.
Can I smack her with the trash can lid?
Yeah, she's pretty agile.
You can
can
certainly try.
Yeah.
You could put the trash can lid on over your shield.
Ew.
It's trash.
As you guys enter the final crossways, you see across the way Rhys is just like flying back and forth. Is it really pacing
Yeah.
if you're flying?
Although I figure like infinity figure eights, like back and forth.
Just doing really complex arcane fractal patterns.
Oh, darn. Why is he not dead?
And as you do, you realize that parade is coming up this street. Saiyna recognizes at a glance 7 orcs.
And Rincewind the Blade.
And Rincewind the Blade. He's the jester.
Hey, is this the band from the brothel?
Yeah.
Hey, cool.
You recognize the 7 orcs who are banging on various percussion instruments, blowing into war horns and making it sound melodic. And there's at least one guy who has a very, very big lute who is just hitting power chords. Sometimes in rhythm with everybody else, but more often than not, he's not. And as they start to pull in between you, there's just a moment where all 7 orcs are playing, and they see Galdrien with his lute, and one of them goes, "Hey!"
Hey!
And one of them sees Saiyna and goes, "Hey!"
Hey!
And the barge just stops,
Oh no.
and 7 orcs jump off and go, "Duel!
Musical duel?
Sure!"
Galdrien looks at the paper real quick. He's like,
Yes, there's now a line that says Thag, 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 and Aleppo.
Hey, just as we're getting ready, did anyone ask you to do this?
One of them is kind of bobbing his head and banging it. Yeah!
All right. And Galdrien gets his lute out and starts warming up on it and says, "Who was it?"
No idea.
All right. Well, I'm glad that they didn't make this a normal duel because I really like you. And
We really like you too.
Now die.
That's why if you lose, we get to eat you and absorb your musical powers.
I don't think that's how it works.
What is it? Just like hits a sour note. They look
Ha! I win.
They look at each other. That's not how it works. And the other one's, I don't know. No, that's how it works. That's got to be how it works. And yeah, and then they start back up.
I already won the duel.
One of them sort of steps up to the edge of the stage and just unleashes a massive lute riff. And it is very heavy and tribal.
Yeah. Galdrien listens to it very thoughtfully and like nodding along. Like, then is there like a crowd coming up?
Yeah, a crowd has started to come around.
Just like good-naturedly, he's going to pick up his lute and then play the same little riff on his lute, and then he's gonna play it again but faster, and then he's gonna play it again just on the fretboard. But now he's like arpeggiating every single note.
So go ahead and make me a good old music roll.
It's an 18 on the die.
Yeah!
So a skill check because Jola. So that's a 20 plus 9 for my charisma. So 29 plus, let's see. And then Wandering Minstrel is 5, so that's 34.
34. So as you're playing, Thag is trying to match you, and eventually he hits a note and he just goes, snap, and all of his strings just break. And he goes, oh no! And he steps off and...
Now, I do have a feat called Expertise. Did I beat that by more than 5?
Yes.
So I'd like to get some sort of effect from that.
Okay.
That perhaps something that helps me in the next one.
Yep. So, when that happens, Thag steps back and starts examining his lute. Thag and Thag step forward and start, one's playing drums and one playing this horn, at which point Cree kind of pushes Jola in front of in front of you and just starts like banging on her shield, and then he's like, "Come on, Jola," and starts getting you to like hop up and down so your armor is clinking rhythmically. So she will give you a bonus to your next check.
Right. That's a nat 20.
A nat 20. All right, what's your total?
So that would be a 31, or no, 41, with whatever bonus.
Okay.
41.
Yep. So
What a time to roll a nat 20 for the bard.
So you start playing, and your music starts arcing actual arcane power off of you, and it hits Jola and starts resonating. And then it arcs from the two of you to Thag and Thag, and both of them let loose these powerful drum beats and horn blasts, and then their instruments basically implode. And they both go, we're out! At which point, Thag, and Aleppo step forward. And Aleppo is screaming these, in your opinion, horrible, like orcish, growly, death metal-y style lyrics. Just war chanting. And go ahead and give me one more roll.
I'm going to re-roll that one with a luck point.
Well,
Since
I'm going to reroll mine too.
That's another 18, so that's another 39.
39. So, if Galdrien were to have a spirit animal, what would you say it would be?
I would say his spirit animal is... that's a good question. I would say it's a one-eyed dog.
So, as you're playing, this sort of energy starts drawing from you and from Jola as she's being shaken, from Saiyna, from the crowd, and this gigantic one-eyed dog's head, is it in the shape of Brave?
Yeah.
Starts to form in front of you. The orcs are playing, and this six-armed, boar-headed being starts to form in front of them, and then Brave just lets loose this whoo that just breaks the barge in half, throws orcs in every direction, and shatters that illusion that they were casting. The crowd, even Rhys, because he's on the other side, Rhys is basically blown back into his building, and the crowd just parts in all directions. At which point, each of the orcs, picks themselves up and like gathers what remains of their instruments and puts them on what remains of their barge, and one by one come over and just pat you on the head and give you a hug.
Yeah, I give him a hug too.
And Aleppo goes, "Well, I guess we have to give you our magical talent, so here you go." And he takes your hand and takes his nail, and in the back of your hand he just carves this symbol. And then when he touches you, there's this bright greenish red light, and when he lets go, you now have a tattoo on your hand.
I'll look at it and then look at him and then put my hand on his shoulder and says, "You may have given me the magical part, but you've still got the talent."
That's very motivational of you. We appreciate it.
And he says, "We need to do this again sometime."
He says, "Yeah, look us up if you're ever back in Hycosia." And then they just throw ropes over the barge and start pulling it. Rhys, they are clearly loitering and littering.
I'm not a police officer.
Galdrien's going to look at his hand. Is there anything special about the tattoo?
So it is a sort of a profile view of a boar, just like the nastiest, gnarliest boar that you can imagine. You're sure at one point when you're looking at it, you see the eye actively focus on you for a second.
Do I get any sense of what this does magically?
Yes.
Ooh, what does it do?
You are able to call on a musical boar spirit.
Well, that's pretty cool. That'll be very handy.
Because it's on your hand. Rhys
Someone got it.
See, Jola, that's the power of music.
And nobody questions at all about them putting a mark on Galdrien?
She goes, look at the thing. Look at the paper thing.
Galdrien looks at the paper.
Marks you as the winner.
Okay, but some guy sent these guys to duel you, and now they have put a mark on you. Gee, let's think about this.
Would you like to read his aura? See if it comes up with any problems?
No, I agree with the think about it. It's a first time for everything for her.
Has his aura changed?
I mean, subtly, but
Do I notice it?
if you intently examine him,
I'm
yes.
going to be intently examining
Is it a
him.
positive change or a negative change, though, or a neutral one?
It's just different.
Yeah, miss, I can sense evil in the sword.
Yeah, he doesn't appear to be more evil, more good.
But it's something different.
Something is different internally.
I'd like to point out that Galdrien is probably helping them get the ropes around their barge. Because you always got to help break down the set.
I mean, really, the problem is not getting the ropes around it. It's them pulling it because they're having to just muscle this gigantic float.
Motivational music to give them both plus ones to their dragging.
And maybe a shove on the back end.
Yeah, as you guys get out of their way, Galdrien motivates them. Saiyna helps get them over to a less sandy portion of the road. They take off. You can hear them chanting since they have no instruments. And Rhys is picking himself up.
Sorry about that, Rhys. Got a little Barty there.
If that's the worst that happens, but regardless, with your interruption, I got you your damn dinner date.
All right, well, thank you, but not happy about it. How come?
I don't like the Tobacculons. They're, how shall we put this? Really high up for such low people.
His word for trailer trash?
I think he's making short people jokes, and he really doesn't have a lot of...
No, he doesn't. It's like the kettle.
That's why
calling
Galdrien's
the
just
pot
staring
black.
at him, like waiting for him to continue.
No, I'm just not a fan.
No, you're not a fan. You're a pixie.
Well, they're
He could be a tiny fan.
friends of my father's, so
Friends might be straining the relationship. Acquaintances.
my father says that he and Leonire, did I pronounce that right?
Leonire.
Leonire. My father said that he and Leonire are about as close as kin.
You're his kin, aren't you?
Yes, but he also died before I was born.
I'm just. You say his close as kin.
Like a brother to him,
Okay.
which means he's my uncle. In a figurative sense.
Kree is kind of like counting in the air. Well, at least you're not your own grandfather.
No. Didn't mess with the time stream that much.
Well, I mean, you could become your own grandfather without actually messing with the time stream or relating to incest. It's really interesting.
I would rather not. I haven't even thought about grandparents. It was my parents, enough of a mystery for one lifetime.
Yeah,
And
That is
Galdrien will.
bad
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
yeah. Parents are like that. Mine are, you know, here or there. My siblings, though, they're the troublemakers.
Like you?
No, I'm the sane one.
Oh, that's scary.
That is very scary.
It should be.
So a dinner date with House Tabakunan, we should probably get a gift.
It's also this evening, dusk, to be exact.
Oh, even better. I don't like wasting time. Let's see if we can get them something respectable.
I wouldn't know something respectable if it bit me.
Same. I can, you know, I know a cigar guy.
Obviously.
I know the finest hookers.
No.
I know places where you can find stuff to bribe people.
Oh, I do too.
Would I know how to get a bottle of decent wine?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I will handle this.
Give me a tracking check.
Okay!
Gift of inspiration. Add a D6 to it.
Cool.
And you get my +2.
Okay.
Unless you go with her, she does not.
Oh.
And
Never
I've
mind.
got Jack and shit.
You did the hard
Okay.
part.
Yes.
Add a D6.
Okay. No, that's fine. Because I got 15 in the die. I've got 5 in tracker. 4 for level.
It's 29, 30.
Okay. Galdrien, how much money do you have?
Actually, no, I have... That's 25.
Okay. But Galdrien's money, I've got a pretty healthy amount. I've got it written down here. Let me see. It's on one of these mini cards.
If they
These
were, if they were,
suckers, poor suckers left me with all the money.
Yeah, we
If-
kind of let him...
if they were small index cards, would they be the mini cards?
Ah.
So, 3,040 ounces of silver.
Okay. Saiyna, since you have access to all of that, you're going to have to spend most of it to buy an appropriate bottle of wine.
It's okay, I'm not using it right now.
Appropriate as in it befits their station and is stuffy and...
It basically is a good wine that is not
3039, sorry.
that is
I gave
not
one a risk.
like insultingly good or insultingly bad, but this is a legitimately good bottle of wine that someone could actually enjoy.
Is it the kind of wine they actually like?
Yes.
Okay.
It's honestly probably from another halfling merchant family that they can't be seen buying from.
Galdrien? Are you alright with spending a lot of money for this gift?
Well, I think I should make a good impression.
Are you absolutely sure?
Yes.
Because it's going to take most of that.
You know what? It's fine. This will not be the first time that I've slummed it. At least I have my clothes on this time.
I'm not going to ask. Would you like to come with me? Or would you like me to handle this chore?
I'll come with you. I know how much you don't like being separated from me.
Rhys says, I have some business to attend to. I need to make sure the new edition is coming out okay.
I guess Kree and Saiyna are doing the dagger eyes at each other over his head.
Yeah. Yeah, she's...
more- it's
Can
more
I roll
like-
to see if I noticed
more like-
that?
We understand each other here. Don't do something stupid. Kind of look.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's 11 plus like wisdom, 15. I won't apply a skill to that.
Yeah, probably not. Galdrien's probably counting money while this is going on.
Yeah, and Saiyna's not treating her any differently aside from the occasional glances. Like, I have my eye on you, little bitch.
Yeah. She effectively, like, pounces up a story catches onto a window, jumps to a sign, jumps to the next story, jumps to the roof, and then skitters over it.
Now you two, will you not kill each other while we're gone?
I'm not staying here with him.
Then what chores have you to do?
I have to go and make sure some of my business is still working. I can't just babysit you guys all day.
All right.
I
then
do have
Okay.
a life.
Then go.
Go on. We can meet back here. Or
Where
we-
should we meet?
I'd say let's meet somewhere near where the dinner date is.
Okay.
What time?
Before dusk.
So it's right here. Can't you read?
How about an hour or two before dusk?
Yeah, this is at the Tabacunon compound.
So we have time to get places.
Okay.
Is there enough time for us to get there?
Oh yeah, like if you probably have about an hour or so to run errands, and then you could get a carpet.
Okay. Sounds good.
Can we get a carpet?
Oh, can we afford a
Oh,
carpet?
yeah.
Well, one of you can afford a carpet.
Ah!
So let's meet back here, get a carpet, and head over in an hour.
Okay.
All right. So Saiyna and Galdrien, you two pretty much exhaust a lot of her underground connections. At a certain point, you're pretty sure you're dealing with, someone who actively like collects people and things, but you get to a cellar, and he sells you a very, very nice bottle of halfling wine.
Would Galdrien's charisma get us, some haggling here?
Probably not.
Okay. Damn it.
Rhys, what do you...
I could sell him a map of the caldera.
Well, that map is wrong.
Yeah.
Slightly outdated.
It's a historical map.
Now it is.
Galdrien just is like, oh, hold on a second, just red paint all over it. There we go. Rhys, what do you do?
It's a magic map. Thank you very much.
So, Rhys is actually going to go out and be stealthily following these guys because he wants to see if any other duels present themselves or if any other clues as to thinking of the way to word this. If there's any other clues as to who's doing that pop up and if Galdrien notices.
So you're able to follow them pretty easily because you're tiny
And they stand out.
yeah, and they stand out. You're fairly certain at any given point there's at least 3 people who look like they're going to approach them for a duel, but see Saiyna with them and back off. So he's actively kind of protected.
Okay.
You can see they're still in the crowds, staying near them though, looking for an opportunity.
Okay.
But that's really all you notice standing out.
Okay. All right. Well, that's my exciting time.
Oh, yeah. And you're like, even when they go underground, you're still acutely aware of where Galdrien is,
Yeah.
except for a strange blip where there's a guy who has an extra dimensional space where he stores things, and he kind of disappears out of Hycosia for a minute. Jola, what are you doing?
So I'm assuming I have some type of office or place where I at least go to do my business dealings.
And to sleep.
Yeah, you've probably got safe houses.
So I'm going to go to one and check on all my business stuff going on. And I'm assuming not really an assistant, but I have, some person that works for me or with me.
Yeah, you've probably got people who work with you. And really, your business consists of you getting tons of tips from people who are like, I know there are slaves being kept here against their will who aren't indentured servants.
So I'm gonna ask one of them. So when was the last time that I worked with the Lord Lunarstorm? Do you remember?
Yeah, I think you still have the missive.
Do you know where that's at?
Well, you took it with you, so I would imagine in your pocket.
With me? Okay. So do you remember how much he paid us?
He didn't?
Didn't? No.
No, I think you were giving him some specialists of some kind, or freeing some. I don't remember.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, what kind of tips do we have on, hey, have you been hearing about all these duels? Or that his son might be back or something? Isn't that cool?
Oh, yeah, it'd be good for business if we could get him to pay the same way Lord Lunarstorm did.
Yeah.
Sultan was really good about. He didn't pay often, but when he did pay, it was, pretty good.
Yeah. So have you been hearing about these duels? Are these guys idiots?
Well, I mean, anyone who gets themselves wrapped up in a duel is an idiot.
I mean, that's true. That is true.
It's like you always say, it's better to just talk it out.
I mean, it is.
You hear Rhys laughing across the city.
Someone's being naive.
Huh. Okay. So, have any of our dealings happened? Can you give me any money? I kind of need
There
some.
it is.
I mean, we've got the emergency fund.
Well, I don't want to use all that. That's for emergencies.
I mean, there's a lot. We can replenish it.
I mean, that's true. Okay, well, I'm going to take some.
Okay. How much do you want?
How much would a
there's-
carpet ride?
So, as from here, probably about 15,000.
Holy shit.
In the emergency fund, you probably have about $1 million in various denominations, including some astral diamonds.
I'm going to take 30,000.
Okay. Yeah. Your assistant goes, "Oh, I thought you were gonna take a lot. That's."
Well, fine. I will take 50,000. I just kind of want to have it on hand just in case, because that stupid Rhys that we deal with never seems to want to use money.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's probably all what's the word? Illiquid. He doesn't have a lot of just capital. I hear he spends
A lot.
He spends out of an account.
You do realize that I had to spend a night with him in a whorehouse, and he was all over the boobs, and I mean...
She looks at you, says,
Crazy.
"Go on."
I mean, he was constantly jumping in and out of women's boobs, and...
Oh, I thought you meant yours.
Oh, no, not me. Not me. Not
I
me.
was going to say that's a whole new. That I understand that you didn't like him, and I was going to commend your strength for sleeping with the enemy to open up new opportunities.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
No. But I did, however, get into a fight with Cree.
Who?
The reporter?
At the thread puller.
Oh,
I don't know.
we've worked with the reporter a few times.
We work with a bunch of reporters.
Oh, the little girl reporter?
Oh, the one with the celebrity rag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did get to, get a few good whaps in with her.
Oh, how'd that go? Wait, was that at the whorehouse too?
No.
Was that sexual?
No.
It was at the whorehouse.
It was outside the whorehouse. Remember, we ran out.
Very important distinction. So, you spend the next little while going over basically a pile of tips before it's time for you to go.
And on my way walking back, I want to pull out whatever you called it that was in my pocket.
Missive.
The missive?
Yes.
It was
Remind myself what it says.
an officially requested meeting between you and Lord Lunarstorm at his compound.
And how long ago was it?
About a month or so.
And do I remember going?
Oh, yeah. He basically offered you some leverage over a gladiator school who was putting people to death for entertainment. It's where you freed Alexis.
Okay. Okay. But I felt the need to bring it with me.
You just happen to have it in your bag.
Okay.
So you guys meet back up.
Galdrien's neatened himself up.
Yeah. So by the time you meet up, Cree is sitting on. Let's say Rhys has one of those cool swinging signs outside his outside his door, and she's just sitting on it, just rocking it back and forth. And when you approach, she hangs on by her knees and flips upside down and goes, "Was taking you forever."
Look here, cat bitch. Off the sign.
What are you going to do? Sue me?
Yes, that's exactly what I will do.
She gives it like one good swing and then flips off. She goes, good luck with that.
That's what I thought.
You think? That'll be the day.
Galdrien's got a bottle of wine in a nice, I imagine, silk wrapper or silk
It's in a padded box.
padded box or something like that. Something very nice. Keep it protected.
I'm gonna show up with the magic carpet.
Yeah, Jola lands.
Saiyna is going to be braiding Galdrien's hair just for the flight.
Is that a Chian? Looks like a 320. Oh, why didn't you say so? I keep a few of them back in the office just to bribe local officials.
It means more if it's whatever.
Oh, that's funny.
He may
Well,
not have.
so
If he hadn't
Galdrien,
bought it, he may not have had it.
did you notice anything different on your walk or while you were gone?
Well, no one challenged me to a duel.
I mean, that's a plus. That's a plus. Your hand doesn't hurt, doesn't itch.
No, this feels like something that I can summon something to protect me.
The carpet driver leans back and says, "No summons on board the carpet,
No,
please."
I'm not going to demonstrate it.
No, it's just that we're moving very quickly and things tend to get blown off the edge.
Yes.
I would hate for you to lose something valuable.
Yes. So, right, staying hands, feet inside the carpet at all times.
Hey, Jola, can you check the bottom of the carpet, see if there's anything hanging out?
Aha.
Cree says, so on a scale of informal, and she has this magic wand that she taps herself on the head, and it's kind of what Galdrien would recognize as stereotypical thieves' clothes, like very dark, lots of smudges of charcoals and grays. It's like too extremely formal, and she pokes herself in the head with the wand again and just spouts a gigantic hoop dress. Where would you say we're at?
Well, I would say probably
Do I need to wear garters?
no,
Oh, thank God.
but I might. That's a joke.
Well, come here and I'll...
No. Let's see. I'd say we're probably somewhere just above the middle.
Yeah, muzzle and collar territory.
Well, that's enough about your attire.
Those are good parties.
She boops herself and has a nice dress that's kind of floral and shows off a lot of her skin. She has a ton of tattoos.
Can I recognize if any of them are magical, since he just got a magical tattoo?
Rhys recognizes them as gang tattoos.
Okay. I'm just...
They are all signifiers of she has stolen. She has there's not murder, but she has done a lot of what you would consider like thieves guild activities. So sabotage, destruction, that kind of thing, and for multiple gangs. When she sees you looking, she goes, "Oops," and boops herself again, and her skin clears up, and her tattoos disappear.
I hate this bitch.
I don't need you to love each other. I just need everyone to realize that we have a common goal.
Why is she part of our common goal?
Because I got paid. He paid me.
To do what?
She holds up two fingers to help him find who killed his father. Plus, there's a story in it, and I'm all for anything that sells.
I'm all for pushing her off the carpet. To be fair, I'm all for pushing Jola off the carpet too.
You know, this guy has gotten really violent,
He has gotten awfully grumpy.
and I abhor violence.
Yes.
How about you, Rhys, sit next to Galdrien? Jola, you sit next to me. Cree, you sit on the other side of me. That way, nobody's sitting next to someone they're having arguments
I
with.
get along with everyone.
I can technically just
I do
leave.
too.
I don't have to be here.
Attacked anybody aside from the crazy cat bitch.
Today.
Because, you know, to be fair,
Look,
I have no
I've-
reason to be here.
Look, I've made friends with lots and lots of people. That's all part of what I do.
I have represented lots and lots of people.
I have to say, he's right. Galdrien is a very friendly person. That's kind of rare in Hycosia. Everyone here is friendly for a price, or for a thing, or for
Case
a
in
reason.
point.
Which means
He's
that
just friendly.
She's probably using you.
Oh, I am absolutely using him.
As if the rest of you aren't.
As long
In
as
some
she gets
way or
me dinner,
another.
it's okay.
I am not.
I would argue that you are too.
What purpose would I have of using him?
I mean, you're banking on a future relationship with him the way you had one with his father.
So that
I mean, if
can
it
help you
doesn't
free
happen,
slaves.
then, you know, it doesn't happen. He's not going to stay here.
I mean, maybe. You don't
So
know.
I am not
do
really
have-
banking on that.
I've got something in the 5-star Authority and Confederates that I need to help with. So I really would like to leave at some point.
Yeah, so see?
I mean, I'm just saying, as far as basis of operations goes, this place is pretty well stocked.
Yes, but I don't think we can fly the entire island all the way over just because I want to take care of some people that I care about.
Yeah, but your father had other means of travel, I'm sure. He regularly traveled off of Hycosia.
Well, I'm not even... Well, actually, I never did ask my father that. The simulacrum said that I wasn't my father's heir, but... And Galdrien will touch the necklace and see if he hears anything from his parents.
There's a very brief moment where the necklace is starting to hum and vibrate, and then all of you hear Master Lunar Storm go, "Yes? Hello?
Hey,
Can you hear me?
Hey, Father. Sorry to bother you in the
I'm
afternoon.
sorry, it sounds like you're going through a tunnel."
Yes, it's very windy right now. Galdrien will sort of shield his mouth a bit.
Oh, I'm just messing with you. That doesn't affect it at all.
You
Your
really
mother-
are my father.
Your mother put me up to that.
And she really is my mother then. So, who would you have left everything to besides mother?
You.
Me? The simulacrum that I saw specifically said that you did not leave me anything, so that simulacrum probably wasn't you then?
I would say not.
Okay. Well, I'm going to talk to Leonara's wife. I've brought her a nice bottle of, and Galdrien tries to remember the name of the
GN 320.
GN 320 or whatever it is.
Oh, yes. Good year. Quite expensive, though.
Yes, I know.
Tell Belline I said hello.
Billy, yes, I will. Is there
Or
anything?
maybe don't, because I'm dead.
No.
That might be a bit much.
Should I just say that that in letters that I have found that you spoke highly of her?
Sure. That seems reasonable.
It's a lie, but it's also a lie because I don't think anyone will buy the whole I'm talking to my dead parents thing.
Not the weirdest thing I've come across recently.
So if you would have left me everything, then what would you have wanted me to do with it?
That's a bit of a loaded question. For several reasons, chief amongst them that I don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
I know of you,
No.
and what your mother has told me, and what I've heard myself here recently. But I would want what I think any father would want, which is for you to do what makes you happy,
Right.
what brings you fulfillment.
Unless it's genocide.
Unless.
I don't know. There are a couple of races I think that
No.
should be contained.
Dad? No.
Let's not, sir.
No. Hear me out.
Yes.
You have yet to see the Kruthiks, I take it. Those are voracious little insect monsters that eat down to the dirt, and then often eat the dirt too. Whenever there's an infestation of those, they really should be burned out completely.
Well, that's pest control. That's not genocide.
Well, technically, if you kill all of them, it is genocide.
I don't like this conversation. It got very, you got into some
Morbid?
very great areas, and I'm not. That's not what we're here for.
Well, to be fair, Galdrien, you really must learn to exist in those gray areas.
I've been existing in them for a long time, trying to do what I think is right, but knowing that sometimes it means getting my hands bloody.
Oh.
Ha ha ha.
Well, that
Is
seemed a
she
bit.
okay?
That seemed a bit self-righteous.
I don't know. It sounded like someone wanted to step outside of the rug for a second. Well, okay, I'm going to speak with Belline. Suppose, I don't know how time works in the afterlife, but if you, did you ever get attacked by a dragon?
Oh, several times. We made many overtures towards the Obsidian Isles.
Okay. And did you ever, did you leave me the dossier asking me to seek out Jola and Rhys?
Who?
Rhys is a pixie. He's right here next to me. He's a lawyer. He's been working with quote unquote you, but I suspect it's really just whoever has been assuming your position.
Never heard of him.
Right, and Jola is a gnome here behind me. She apparently has been working with you on occasion freeing people from servitude.
Oh, from the Enchanted Forest? Nope, never heard of her.
So, right. Well, they've both been working with someone pretending to be you. So,
Well, it sounds like you're on your way to figuring that problem out.
maybe. I don't know if I'll figure anything out, honestly, but I'll try to find out what happened to you, and I'll kick the shit out of it.
I can't argue with that. There's a lot of problems just solved by violence. I don't advocate it as a first step, but sometimes it's necessary. At which point you just hear a smack, and he goes, "Ah!" And your mother says, "You should try talking it out first, Galdrien."
Yes, that's what I did. And man challenged me to a duel. I tried to humiliate him and convince him to stand down first, and then he insisted that I finish him.
Your father says, yes, yes, we're all proud of you.
I'm not. Felt awful. Now he's a zombie.
No.
I didn't do that, by the way.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, your driver indicates that you're about to land.
All right,
This
well,
poor driver. Talk about hearing a fucked up conversation.
all right, well, appreciate the advice. I'll try to do what I think is right, but just you and Mom just enjoy your time together. You've earned it.
Well, there's really no other choice, I'm afraid.
Quick question.
Yeah, well, I know how much you love it because you loved her more than I think anyone has ever loved a person before, judging by all those letters I read.
Yes, your father was very sweet and hasn't written me a letter in a very long time. At which point your father goes, "Oh, the connection is breaking up. We'll have to go, Galdrien."
All right, write her a letter. Just make her feel special.
And you are landed on top of a very, very tall spire. On top of the spire, there's a halfling who is waiting for you. Surrounding him are a number of Galdrien recognizes lantern archons that are just kind of swaying in the breeze, which is to say they are these like softly fuzzy glowing balls of light. When the driver lands, this halfling, comes up to you, bows, and says, "The mistress has bade me to bring you to dinner."
Thank you.
He kind of puts his heels together, spins, and starts walking away. As he's walking, this carpet is just unrolling in front of him, and as it does, there's just these little like of flower petals, and he opens this gigantic double door and says, "This way, if you will."
Of course.
So, Galdrien, what are we going to tell these guys?
You leave that to me, Rhys.
That's the problem.
Cree picks up one of the flower petals and kind of like looks over one shoulder, looks over the other shoulder, just like bites it. And I was just curious. Everyone talks about rose water.
It's rose water. It's diluted.
I was just curious, Galdrien.
You know your taste buds are extra sensitive.
I mean, yes. Sometimes when you eat things, it's just terrible, but you still have to do it.
Well, you didn't have to do it.
Well, I did to satisfy my curiosity. And when she says something about having to eat things, she looks over at Saiyna. We'll close as the doors slam shut behind you, and it's leaving you in this completely dark room, which then there's a set of lights near you. It's a couple of archons, and then a couple more, and a couple more, and a couple more, and they just ring their way up this spire, leaving you inside a very, very well appointed room that has a long marble table, and several very uncomfortable looking marble chairs. And this halfling sort of gestures to it and says, "You may wait here. The mistress will be with you shortly." And that's where we'll leave off tonight.
Leaving us hungry, waiting for more.
I was going to say, hooray, we actually have an appropriately linked episode again.
I think all three of ours were appropriately lengthed.
They were perfectly average.
Good length, good girth on
Maybe
that
just
episode.
a little bit above average, which is kind of a sweet spot. If you
I
ask
don't know.
me.
Once we cut some of it out, it might be a little short.
Yeah, sometimes you have to cut a bit off the tip to get it to the appropriate. Dick jokes.
Sacramento wine? What? Let's get verschnicken.
There's rocks, there's trees, there's squirrels.
Let's bless them all.
So, you guys got anything before we leave off? Questions, comments, concerns? Not that I care.
Who killed Galdrien's dad?
Well, we've told you, Galdrien.
Galdrien's mother.
Well, can't do anything about that.
She really got fed up whenever his date night was to the local fast food cart, and she just pushed him off Hycosia.
All I'm saying is those old Sonic commercials. You're a cheap date.
I never made any claims otherwise. All right, so find us at the places, do the things, support us, however you can. Sponsor an F-bomb.
Any way you want it.
That's the way you need it.
Do 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 do.
And on those notes, thanks for joining us, you guys. We'll see you next time.
Fortunately, this isn't the story of a girl.
No, it's the story of a Galdrien who cried a river.
Fuck you. You
What,
made me
who
cry.
what?